robust urban garlic flavor.
Well, Phil has done it again. These are the moments that keep me going with this because it's just so incredible how he can continue to act like this. So DSP is having a mini meltdown because 3 out of 4 streams have not hit the goal this week already. And then he's saying, okay, I'm quitting Hollow Knight Silksong because I'm not getting enough money for it. So you better rally, you better give me a bunch of super thanks, or I am absolutely not picking this up ever again. I'm fully quitting it. But then nothing happens, except he gets a bunch of comments from people, you know, detractors and the like, that he just bans because he doesn't want to deal with the criticism. Apparently he got so much pushback that on his stream right after, he gets a $54 anonymous Hollow Knight Silksong tip. Go figure. And he says, oh, I thought there was going to be a rallying of support. And it's like, Bill, there never is. You're not going to get 10 people super thanking $5. That just doesn't happen. And then after that, his first 2 hours of gameplay, he gets $10. So at this point, I'm like, what's going on here? Because is that tip real? Because he comes back and he just has a full meltdown. But remember, in his eyes, even if that tip was real, he thinks he just made $10 across 3 hours. So here's Phil crying about it because he's not popular.
I was literally just thinking of something, okay? Why don't we have it this way with the goals? Okay, why don't we do this? Instead of having it 46 out of 50, why don't we just say 6 out of 10? Because we're not counting towards 100 anymore. I'm just doing marathons. You know, we had it counting towards 100, but we were doing marathons when we qualified for them. But now I just do them for fun. You know, there's no goals. You know, there, it doesn't make any sense. Why would we have to do that? We'll just go up to 10. When we hit 10, we do a DSP tries it, and then we reset it back to 0. Okay? And that's what we should do. That way, it's not, you know, people look at that and they're like, why are we counting up so many goals and everything? We don't have to. It's just we always count to 10, right? So right now we're at 6. We need 4 more goals to hit 10. When we hit 10, DSP tries it, then it goes back to 0, and we just do it that way. I think that makes a little more sense. It's probably confusing for those who aren't here all the time. They look at that and they're like, why, you know, what are we counting to? All right. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, he's right in this thinking. Also, if you have a $100 milestone, it's easier for people to calculate how much money has been given to you in a quick notice in a certain period of time.
All right. So let's get back to it. So we have an hour and 40 minutes left on today's stream. All right. Let's get support right now before we even start up again. Seriously. We're at what? 67? Let's get $7 of support right now. Whether it's a super chat, a tip, 3 memberships, 2 subs, whatever it is. Let's hit it right now. Let's get to halfway. Then for this second portion of the stream, we can just focus on doing the second half. All right? Seriously. And I am serious because it's been over an hour and there hasn't been a single contribution. Yet you're all sitting here watching the stream.
Translation: if you happen to go on YouTube and watch a streamer, you are a freeloader unless you give that streamer money. Phil, do you know how insane that sounds?
So let's get to 75 right now. Let's go. And for the record, because people keep asking about Silksong, we're doing Silksong tomorrow. We hit it earlier today. Someone did a very large tip, basically made up for the fact we didn't hit the goal last night, and we're doing Silksong tomorrow as the daytime stream. We're giving it a shot as a day stream. Now, people better show up, engage, and support tomorrow because they claim they want it. So you better be here for it. If you want Silksong, come by and support that stream, and we'll keep it in the rotation. All right?
Yeah, and his infinite wisdom, he's not even giving it a podcast, which is probably doing it a disservice. Because on the podcast, he can just rant and whine, and then he'd be able to get like $50 before he even boots up the game.
There is no math wrong on the King's tax. Shut up. I don't want to hear about... In fact, you know what? Just go away. You're annoying. Okay.
Congratulations, you've been banished to Raphel.
Okay. Yes, one person did save Silksong. I thought it would be like a rallying of a few people. And in fact, I know that Danzak had done that first super chat earlier and was talking about Silksong and probably would have wanted to have that count towards it. But then all of a sudden someone came in and was like, nah, here's just a giant tip. Let's do it.
If you're talking about super thanks, expecting multiple super thanks from anybody on any video is a huge rarity, Phil, especially with you mass producing them. Also, if you're just going to count the Silksong money to the King's tax anyway, it makes sense to say include this with Silksong anyway, because they can double dip at that point. So maybe you faked that tip so people couldn't do that.
So that was amazing, obviously, and that's awesome and appreciated that happened. But now I need support for Chronos.
Yep, you see there's always something more, because when Phil demands $150 every stream, there's going to be a lot of demanding because he doesn't have a huge audience.
All right, are we going to get it? Come on. I've been streaming now this game for 2.5 hours. And we've gotten, in the 2.5 hours, I'm not kidding, we've gotten, let's see, $10 of support. So let's go. Let's get to halfway to the goal right now.
I don't think it's ever occurred to him that demanding $150 from 200 people in a span of 3 to 4 hours of streaming can be a big reach, especially if a significant proportion of the people watching you are just there to see the train wreck and not contribute whatsoever.
Kratos fanboy, the thing is, we don't have ideas to do anything special at 100 goals, so what's the point of counting to 100? We're doing rewards every 10 goals, right? We're doing DSP tries it. Since we don't have anything for the top one, you know what I'm saying? There's no point in counting to 100. Just not, right? I'm streaming till 4 p.m., so we still got a while. But like I'm saying, we're here. We can't get to halfway right now, seriously. And that way we just have the second half to work towards for the second half of the gameplay stream.
Yeah, but Phil, they don't particularly care about Taco Bell. They don't particularly care about the goal system. If they want to give you money, they will give you money. You're just salty that nothing's coming in because you're having a slow day and you're having a slow week.
You're telling me there's no one watching this stream right now at all out of the 229 people watching on YouTube, out of the almost 90 people watching on Kick. There's no one watching and saying, hey, this is a good stream. Bill's actually, you know, playing a challenging game. It's tense. I'm liking the vibe. I like the content. Let's get halfway to the goal, and then we could, you know, work towards it for the second half. You're telling me there's no one out there enjoying the stream? No one. Right. I don't buy that, or else you wouldn't be here. If the truth is, if you weren't enjoying the stream, you would not be here. You'd be watching on a streamer or something. So I don't buy it.
Here's something you don't account for, Phil. You stream 12 times a week, so there's plenty of opportunities to give you money. But people aren't going to be like, okay, I have $60 to give to Phil each week. I'm going to give him a $5 super chat every stream he does. People aren't like that, Phil. Maybe your regular supporters that give you a $5 super chat once or twice a week. You have to build your audience to get money. Instead, you burn and tear it all to the ground in the name of your ego. And then you have to whine like this.
This is a terrible stream. Well, then leave. What is keeping you here if you don't like Chronos? Really?
The guy streaming the game, isn't that obvious? He thinks that he has a huge range of people watching him because he does a variety of different games. The reality is 80% of the people probably stay there regardless of the game he plays.
Narwhal Gaming, it's time to dispel the nonsense. Well, aren't the Kick viewers contributing because they're watching? Dude, I have 80-something viewers on Kick. How much do you think Kick pays me for 80-something viewers on a stream? Realistically.
Not much at all. But here's the thing, the YouTube audience also supports in that way because YouTube has been aggressively putting ads on live streams. He may be making more on YouTube than he is on Kick, but he harped up Kick streaming so much that people think he's making a boatload of money. I have no idea about Kick.
Do you think I'm making tons of money on that? I'm making almost nothing. Okay? That's stupid. If I had 500, 1,000 viewers, then I'd be making good money. I have 80 viewers on Kick.
Yeah, a $2 super chat is more than one view, obviously. But here's the thing, he does nothing to try and build his audience. He just sits there, pretends he's having a renaissance or whatever, pretending that he's being more successful than ever, when the reality is, he probably burned through all that money, is going to continue to burn through all the money that comes in, regardless of how much he makes in a day. He could make 400 a day, 200 a day, 100 a day. He's just going to burn through it.
And I could turn off the YouTube stream, and then all the YouTube viewers would have to watch on Kick, and I'd make more money. But I don't want to do that because I appreciate my YouTube viewers who've been with me through thick and thin for 17 plus years. I'm not going to make them leave the format that they like to watch on in order to make a few extra bucks.
But you did that with Twitch when you got kicked out of the partner program. You don't dual stream on Twitch. The only reason why DSP is on Kick is because of the Kino Casino, but besides that, he's keeping with it because it pays 4 times a month instead of 1 time a month that YouTube does, and he gets 95% of the money his fans give him versus YouTube is 70. So in an ideal world for him, he would want his entire YouTube audience, or at least the people that give him money, to go over to Kick and give him money on Kick. But DSP isn't ready to make that leap yet.
So I leave the co-streaming on because of that reason.
Funny story, Kick had to tell him twice to turn co-streaming on because at first when he got monetized on Kick, he didn't initially do that.
Chef Demeski, I counted the $54 from before. I swear to God, the next person that says I didn't count it is going to get banned. I've had enough. I've counted the $54. I gave everyone an extra goal. We were at 46. We're not at 45. We're at 46. I said, hey, we hit a goal because of the $54 tip. And now we're counting towards the next goal. So stop with the, because I'm tired of people trying to make me look bad. I actually gave extra, and now people say I gave less. Off, trying to spin everything as a toxic negative. That didn't happen. You're inventing events that didn't happen on the stream. I counted a goal towards DSP Tries It for $54. So I don't want to hear it. Really, it pisses me off when people want to just make it up.
Yeah, DSP is doing us all a big favor by going to quit Hollow Knight for a second time, because that person who tipped $54, do you think they're going to tip an extra $150 to keep the playthrough going each and every stream? Think about it.
The funny part is that people say, why does he even address this? Because he's giving the detractors ammo. Literally everything I say is ammo. Every word out of my mouth. I'm not going to sit here silent for the stream. Anything I say is ammo for the detractors, because even if nothing happens, they still make something up anyway. So it doesn't matter. The moment I turn on the stream, they're going to say something toxic. So why do we even bring it up? You're the one bringing up the detractors, not me. Like, that's asinine. Like, oh, now the detractors have a clip. They have a clip no matter what. No matter when I turn on the stream, they have something. So what the f are you talking about? Like, use your brain.
Here's the problem, Phil. You make it really easy to find stuff about it. And this is one of the easiest, because just 15 minutes straight of you whining and complaining and begging for money. I don't have to skim through your podcast. I just have to go on Raw Phil and say, oh, this is the timestamp. Here's Phil going on a tirade. Congratulations, Phil. And usually when you do these things mid-stream, it's like 3 to 5 minutes at most. You're going overboard, Phil. So that tells me something is really irking you this week.
That's right. People want to see me specifically play the game. That's correct.
For some people, yes. Others want to see you provide actual commentary. The majority of the people that follow you, whether they're on a restream or not, are there to see if you're gonna beg or not, or if you're gonna hit the goal. They're not here to see pro gameplay, Phil.
That's why you're here, because you want to see DSP suffer through a very challenging survival horror game. It's different than a lot of the survival horror games I've played recently, by far, too. Like, there's a lot different about this than, say, Silent Hill 2 last year, than any of the Resident Evils I've played recently. It's just very different. It's unique. I'm getting the hang of it now, although, man, it's frustrating when we get to a tough part, but I'm getting the hang of it now. I'm persevering. We're getting better at it, right?
Yeah, you see this part here where he's actually talking about the game. You would think it doesn't involve money, and if it didn't, I wouldn't clip it at all and talk about it. But then he transitions into money. So if he just talked about the games and his experiences instead of whining about money, I wouldn't have anything to talk about.
So since you're here because you specifically want to see DSP play it, then please support that content. That's what I ask. If you're here to watch the stream I'm providing because you enjoy watching me play games in the way that I do, then support that content, and then there will be more of it.
Here's the distinction, Phil. Nobody cares that you ask for contributions. It's how you do it. It's the frequency of it. It's the constant whining. It's the begging. It's the demanding. You are stopping your stream, grinding it to a halt for 15 minutes to talk about how you need more money. That's what people have issue with, because every day it's this. It's a circus with you.
Right? We talked about it earlier before I started playing the game, that if you like content, you support it, then because you've supported it, that money can be made to make more content.
Not entirely. The money goes to pay your expenses so you are able to stay on stream and continue to live stream. That's how it is. So you can stay in your house. So you can continue to do what you are doing. And people know that, Phil, but here's the issue. You're not entertaining enough to sustain that kind of support. So you try to fill in the gaps with begging. And then you take offense when people call you out for it because you don't seem to realize how much you beg on stream. People make counters of it where it's in hundreds. I know they like split up like one long spiel. They make it like 5 or 6, but they shouldn't be able to do this on a daily basis where they have beg counters that are 50 per stream.
Right? That's how it works. Now, I just sit here like a lump and I say I get everything for free because I'm entitled and I just get everything.
I can see DS Phil Vlog using that clip right there. He fundamentally doesn't seem to understand that by going on his soapbox like this, he's making it seem like he thinks he's entitled to all this money. And really, that is my impression and my thoughts on it. He's like, I got this before, so I deserve it now. And I deserve it for like the next 20 years. And I don't have to do anything differently because it worked 20 years ago.
And then how dare you even ask for any support and make a living? How could you?
Once again, it's not about asking for support. It's about turning the stream into so transparently, I need this money right now, that it overshadows everything you're doing. Like, it's not about the gaming, Phil, or entertaining your fans. It's about you getting money. That's the issue. When you turn your streams into a begnanza, people are going to have issues with that. And that's why you have a detractor circle running around you, because they're like, this guy's entertaining because he begs so much and he doesn't even realize that's a huge faux pas.
No, that's not how life works. We made the allegory of a movie that if a movie comes out and people like it and they go watch it at the theater and they pay for the subscription or the on-demand rental and the movie makes money, then those movie makers can go make more movies that you like. As opposed to if you say you want the movie, but then you pirate the movie, you steal the movie, you illegally download the movie, right? Then they make no money and they can't make more content. So you're shooting yourself in the foot when you don't support the content you like. If you don't like the content, then what are you doing here?
Phil, you are not a paid service. You are a free service. So let's say you're a street performer. That's a better analogy. Do street performers just quit their routine to panhandle you for 20 minutes straight? No. They may say it. They may have a note, hey, tip if you enjoy. They don't stop their performance to go berate somebody to give them money. You continuously use these streams to just beg for money that it's so transparent. You don't even like playing the games that everyone can see that your begging isn't justified. You actually have to provide a quality service, and you're not doing that. And the thing is, if you actually provided an entertaining quality service, you probably wouldn't have had to beg at all. You'd probably have an audience still in the thousands because you were lucky that you got in on the ground floor. But you don't think about it. You think about, what can I get today the most? You don't plan. You're not thinking about 6 months ahead. You're thinking about right now and how to get your WWE champions fix. And that's the problem. You've never thought about long-term growth, and now you're stuck with short-term shenanigans.
Why are you here on my stream if you don't like it? So either you enjoy and you support when you can and you understand why I ask for contributions, or you off.
Yeah, here's the major caveat that you're not considering. Support while you can. Do you think people can afford to give you $5 every stream? $60 a week for a live streamer? People don't even pay that much for a streaming service, Phil. Why do you think you're entitled to all that money? This is the problem because you've clung to what you've been doing for so long that you think you can sustain it, but it's really just a house of cards that's ready to fall when one whale taps out. That's all it is, Phil. Your glory days are well behind you, and you may have been keeping this shenanigan up for years, but one day it's just going to collapse like that and you're going to be left with no idea about what to do.
It's one or the other. There's no in between. This is actually a case, there is no black and white. Like, either you like the content, so you're here to enjoy it, you're here to support me because you like the way I play games, you like it, or you get out because you're just sitting here being toxic and no one cares about you.
Again, here's the thing, Phil. Pay or leave is not a good strategy to stay in business and long term. You have to provide the entertainment and don't pressure people. People don't like giving money when they feel pressured to do it.
What I'm saying is, there's a group of people who are LARPers. They come in here and they pretend like they're fans of mine. They're not. And they sit here and they talk. And they're very toxic about everything. And God forbid that I'm on my own stream, my own business, and I say, hey, please support the stream. Oh, he's begging. It's horrible that he would do that. No, I have to do that because if I don't do that, I can't make a living.
So you're telling us if you can't beg 100 times a stream, you won't make $100,000 a year? Interesting proposal you got there.
And people should understand that if they support the content they like, they get more of it, right? If you pirate the content, if you go watch it elsewhere because it's stolen, then the content cannot continue to succeed because I need to make a living. So it's that simple. It really is a simple thing. But they don't want to act like they want, oh, anytime that he says anything about profits or being supported, it's a toxic, horrible thing. No, it's not.
It's not if you mention it here and there, but it is if you continuously harp on it, you spend minutes talking about it, you dedicate your streams to it essentially, and you make videos like your daily rap, which is you complaining if you got money or not.
And the truth is, what happens when we hit goals? Then I'm like, well, I actually don't want to talk anymore about goals. You know, we hit the goal. We're good. Right now, if we hit the goal 150, I would say, hey, thanks a lot. Maybe we can hit a second goal, but hey, thanks for hitting the goal, and then we can just play the game.
Before your looping goals, when you got 150, you usually clammed up about support. Nowadays, you're going to be extra interested in bringing up, hey, we could hit 2 goals in one stream. So, Phil, relax. You're an e-beggar. Get over it.
Instead, I've been here 2 hours, and there's been $10 of support in 2 hours.
You know, let's say DSP got 500 on a given day in one stream, and then the next stream he did, he got $10 in 2 hours. He'd have this exact same reaction. And if you tell him, hey, didn't you make $500 yesterday? He'll be like, I always need that money because it's a never-ending thing, so I need to beg continuously.
So that's the problem. Green Luigi, no other streamer is in the situation I'm in, so f*** off.
No, Phil, there are plenty of locals out there like you that are just begging for money all the time.
Really, no other streamers in the unique situation I'm in, so I have to do things differently, and you can kiss my ass. If you don't like the content, leave. What are you doing here? Right?
Dude, if you told them, hey, if you don't like me begging, just leave, and people actually did as you say, you'd only have like 10 people watching you.
Okay, so I'm going to continue to play. Thank you, Princess Luna. Princess Luna, $7 super chat. Now we've hit halfway to the goal, and now we're going to play. I was going to say we're going to have to play anyway, but thank you so much, Princess Luna. Hey, look, it's someone who's a positive person who likes my content and actually wants to support it. What a novel concept.
Yeah, there aren't really many Only Iced Coffees out there, but Phil thinks everybody should be Only Iced Coffee. It's like he's a rock concert and you need to spend $40 tickets on him. It's kind of hard to do that when you do 12 times a week. People can't afford to go to 12 rock concerts in a year, Phil.
Right? Not toxic jerks who sit here and are demanding and everything I do is wrong. But then when I do what you want, what you're asking for, you also say it's wrong. You know, it's very contrarian. It gets annoying. Like, I've really enjoyed this year because this year I've got to do a lot of things that normally I wouldn't have done. And I branched out and I did all kinds of new content and I'm really enjoying this ride. But people have to understand for that ride to continue, we have to keep hitting goals and have to get support.
Yeah, you see, guys, if you don't support the games that Phil's gonna play, he's gonna have to play different games to see if you'll support those instead. Sounds about right, you're doing the exact same thing, so it's like apples to oranges, who really cares?
If we keep hitting goals, then I can buy new peripherals. I can buy any game I want when it's new. We could buy 10 games in a week, for God's sakes. We could. And it's fine.
And then Phil can wage quit all of them when they don't hit the goal.
I can get new controllers on the fly, new wheels, new lighting, new anything, whatever you want. But that's because you're supporting the content so I can continue to make it and improve it. If you just sit here complaining all day, you don't like any of the content, anytime that I ask for support, I'm horrible, what a horrible person I am, don't you understand that you serve no purpose? Zero. Just go watch the detractor and leave us all alone. Stop on these chats. We want to actually enjoy the game together. I want to sit here and talk with people and have engagement. I don't want to see people just literally constantly complain. It's frustrating. It does. It gets to you. Like, shut up. Well, folks, guess what? I'm not kidding. I just received a $100 tip.
Sure you did. Absolutely.
Let me do the shout out. All right. Here we go. I got a $100 tip. Thank you so much. It's an anonymous tip. I'm going to read the message in a second, but I want to let this play out because it's such an awesome animation. I love this animation. Hi, Phil. This is support both for Kronos, but also for Silksong. I especially hope that you will continue Silksong. We are continuing Silksong tomorrow. Someone earlier supported, got us to as if we had hit the goal last night before we even started playing games. We're doing Silksong tomorrow as a daytime stream. And I hope that people tomorrow will show up, engage, and support with Silksong. Because personally, I liked it. I had a great time with it. I was frustrated because it's hard. But man, I enjoyed it. By the end of the stream, I was actually disappointed thinking, man, are we never going to play it again? Okay? So, thank you for the $100 tip. Because of that, it now means that we have hit the goal. So thank you all for hanging out, chilling, supporting, and for those that aren't LARPers, for those that like the content, that wanted to continue, thank you for supporting it. You allow me to not only make a living, but do all the good improvements we've done this year. Thank you for understanding that and for coming by and being positive and supporting my content, particularly this person with a very generous tip. Thank you so much. Okay, so now guess what? Now I'll be a man of my word. We have hit the goal. We're at 7 out of 10, mean 3 more goals, and it's going to be DSP Tries It, the Y2K Decades menu for Taco Bell. Now I will play the game for the rest of the stream, and I will not ask for any more support.
Don't worry, Phil. 1, I'm too lazy to check. 2, it doesn't really matter because you had this whole 15-minute meltdown. That basically counts for like 100 begs a stream by itself, Phil. You don't get to say I'm not an e-beggar when you e-beg to get where you are.
If more support comes in, I'll shout it out, but I'm not going to be asking for more because we got a lot, okay? Wow, Yenya just did a $10 super chat and says, let's go hype. Thank you to Yenya for a $10 super chat. Look at this. Now we're at 184, right? Amazing momentum. Thank you guys so very much. Only 3 goals to go for DSP Tries It this week, all right? Thank you guys so much. Now you see how that works? Positive people support. And now we can all enjoy the rest of the game and the rest of the stream. And now, you notice no one's toxic, right? Everyone's being positive. And guess what? Everyone there that was sitting there, ooh, why does he mention support? This is why. Because now we can play the game and enjoy for the rest of the stream. Get it? But you don't get it. That's why you sit there and you're miserable. Because now I can't believe he just got all that support. You're right. You can't believe it because you're at this. You just sit there and you complain and you whine. Everything I do is wrong, except I'm making a living and you're not. Too bad. Let's continue.
Yeah, I'm kind of just skeptical that either of those tips were real. It just is what it is. He's like, oh, positive people are supporting. Okay, yeah, it's your whales. Nobody else really cares whether you hit the goal or not, Phil. You're very performative, and as long as people get that performance, they will hang out for the occasion. But besides that, nobody really cares about the games that much to give you $60 a week, Phil. And newsflash, most streamers do not average $60 a week per supporter. They probably average $5 of that. So you are greedy and you want your hand in the cookie jar, and you're not happy until your fans withdraw all their bank accounts into yours. That's how you make your living, Phil. You don't make it off enjoying stuff. You make it about playing the victim and pretending that you're destitute. We're telling them, hey, I'm going to be destitute if you don't give me any money. That's not their problem. It never was. It never will be. The onus is on you. You have to be an entertainer, but you refuse to be because you found out that you're not entertaining, so panhandling is much more profitable for you. So go cry in a corner, stare at a wall, because your glory days are behind you, and one day this garbage will all come crashing down upon you, and you won't have any savings left to deal with it.
Your entire life. Every moment you've done that has been a waste. You could have been doing productive, positive things with your life, and instead you threw your time and money away. What's wrong with you? And the truth is, all these people who are in this vortex, if they went to someone outside of the vortex and told them, this is my hobby, this is what I do for fun, these people would stare at you like a deer in headlights